Hey guys, what's going on? Mike the Caveman Q here again for Paleo Problem Long Island, MikeTheCaveman.com. And today's question is, do fermented foods change your gut flora? And the answer is, no, not really. Roll credits. Wait, you want more? I know what you're thinking, but wait, no. You recommend fermented foods all the time. You did a whole video on kombucha alone. What gives? Well, let's dig a little deeper into your microbiome, or quite literally, the little world that lives inside your gut. The most common strains of bacteria used in food fermentation and in most supplemental probiotics belong to the genuses Bifidobacterium and Lactobacillus. And to be fair, those bacteria do make up a decent chunk of your resident microflora in a healthy individual. Moreover, the literature has shown those strains to be generally beneficial. But let's be clear about the numbers we're talking about. It is estimated there are 100 trillion microbial cells in your gut right now, of which, if you're relatively healthy, more than 20 trillion of which will be Lactobacillus or Bifidobacterium. Now, these are estimates, but bear with me. Now, commercial yogurts have a range of roughly 90 to 500 billion colony-forming units at the time of manufacture in a serving. For even further reference, on the higher end of probiotic supplements, we're looking at around 100 billion CFUs. Now, without even factoring in the time it takes to travel from the manufacturing plant to the store and the time it sits on that shelf, the light, heat, UV, and air exposure, they must still travel a rough road through your digestive tract. They must get through your stomach acid, then they have to get through the bile salts produced by your liver, all the way to make it to your colon. Now, for Bifidobacterium and Lactobacillus, the estimated number that will actually survive transit is roughly 20 to 40%. So, let's do some quick math. Ugh, I know. If we're talking about commercial yogurt and 90 to 500 CFUs, and we're not talking about anything else on the transit through there to your mouth into your colon, we're only talking about what's happening there. We're talking about 20 to 40% left when it finally makes it to your colon. On the low end, we're talking about 18 billion making it to your colon. And on the absolute high end, we're talking about 200 surviving transits all the way to be able to colonize. Now I know what you're thinking. 18 billion, 200 billion, that's a lot, right? But factor in a healthy microbiome, there will be roughly 20 trillion of those particular species inside of your gut. As such, on the high end, we're talking about, again, 200 billion out of 20 trillion, or a total population of 1% of species of those genuses. So that is 20 billion out of 100 trillion of your total microbial population. So we're talking about 1/5 of 1%. But again, for reference, if we're talking about probiotic supplements, we're talking about 20 to 40 billion actually making it through the transit. So on the high end, we're talking about 1/5 of 1% of your actual Lactobacillus and Bifidobacterium population in that dose, or 1/25 of 1% actually making it through to your colon to try to change what's going on in there. Are we starting to see the problem? And that's at the absolute highest numbers. These are just estimates, and we are being very generous in the calculations. So the odds are you're probably getting even less than that. Now, to be clear, home fermented foods will likely have higher concentrations when you're eating them because they didn't have to be transported or stored on the way from your mouth to your gut. But they still have to go through that system. And that concentration will still be much more variable than it would be in a commercial brand, and it's a lot harder to try and figure out exactly how much you're actually going to get. But needless to say, it probably will be a little bit more. So either way though, clearly fermented foods are worthless, right? Well, no, absolutely not. They have a lot of other benefits unrelated to their actual recolonization of your gut. That fermentation process results in the creation of various vitamins, enzymes, and organic acids, all of which have their own unique health benefits. As such, you should definitely still be eating fermented foods. Lots of sauerkraut, kimchi, yogurt, kefir, kombucha. Those will all have great health benefits, just not for the purpose of specifically recolonizing your gut. This is also one of the biggest reasons why I recommend Megaspore. The fact that it's in that spore form is able to survive heat and light and acid and the air. It actually gets through to where it's supposed to get to. It has a much higher survivability rate. And specific strains like Bacillus subtilis are actually able to help to recolonize. They have demonstrated benefits in actually crowding out the deleterious bacteria and allowing that recolonization to occur. So your biggest takeaways for today are that no, unfortunately, fermented foods likely do not remodel your gut. You would have to eat a lot to actually have that occur. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't be eating them. There are a tremendous amounts of benefits related to eating fermented foods, provided you don't have a histamine intolerance, but that's a whole other day. But if you actually want to work on changing your resident flora, look at quality probiotics like Megaspore. Talk about it all the time. But either way, if you want more information about that difficult transit those probiotics must go through, take a look at this video we did over here on GERD, which is acid reflux, gastrointestinal reflux disorder. If you want some more information on fermented foods, specifically kombucha in this case, and its health benefits, take a look at this video over here. And if you want some more information on the spores, which of course you do, take a look at this video over here. So, either way, hopefully that helped you out. You know what to do. Like and subscribe down below. Share it with your friends. Head over to Instagram and Twitter and follow me at Mike the Caveman. Over on Facebook at Paleo Problem Long Island. And of course, over on MikeTheCaveman.com. That being said, have a wonderful rest of your day. Still go eat those fermented foods. And I'll see you tomorrow.